Alright. This time I'm for real starting Pokemon Crystal. I think I just had to clean the cartridge connector really good, because I was having issues when I tried it a few minutes ago. Alright, what do I have? Okay, in Generation 1 I'll have a potion here, but I guess not in this game. Saturday? I actually don't know. Is it... March 8th through Sunday, November 1st. So it starts tomorrow. I'll keep it simple and say no and then change it later. Who are you? Oh, her dog, because Crystal introduced a new NPC that wasn't in Gold and Silver. In fact, the gender selection, are you a boy or a girl, that's new too in Crystal. In Gold and Silver, you're just a boy. Nice. Okay. So choices are Cyndaquil, Totodile, or Trash. It's fitting that Chikorita is right next to the trash can. So in the Heart Gold Soul Silver remakes, they have the physical special split in place. So Totodile is actually a pretty viable choice. But this is the original Gen 2, so there is no physical special split. So Cyndaquil would probably be the best choice here. And in no version of the game is Chikorita ever a good choice. unlike Gen 1, it doesn't immediately start you out with a battle against your rival. It's good to save often. In Gen 1, the Pokemon were genderless, except for the Nidorans. Gen 2 introduced gender, but the vast majority of starters are male. Not as a species, but if you choose a starter, there's like an 87.5%, something like that chance of it being male. Supposedly it makes it's to be harder to breed. You can pass on moves, but not species if it's male. But of course, Ditto exists, so that's sort of the workaround here if you want to breed your starter. This edge sprite right here, it's like they cut part of that in half instead of doing like a rounded edge thing. A little bit lazy, but whatever. Probably need to save space in the cartridge memory. Because with 251 Pokemon and all those moves and items and stuff, you have to save sprite space where you can. I should have led with Leer. Oh no, I didn't want to have a... I know I was holding the berry. Oh well. I think Smokescreen is basically identical to Sand Attack, except with a different name. Yeah, literally just like copy and paste the Sand Attack and gave it the name Smokescreen. Maybe there's slight differences in effect chance, I don't know. So the big selling point of Gen 2 was that it added 100 new Pokemon, but so far I'm only seeing Pidgeys. Oh, there we go. The game heard my complaint and listened. Alright, I probably shouldn't do any more battles until I can heal. nice. Ah, nice. Alright. So I guess they couldn't do transparent sprites for the bottom of those those rock mounds. So the corners had the awkward brown background instead of being transparent and stacked on top of the underlying layer. So I guess there's no layers here, it's just all one layer. And they didn't have enough space, they didn't have enough memory space to put different backgrounds for different terrain. Because at this time, cartridge storage space was a very real limitation. Alright, so at least I got a map as a reward for listening to him. I can't buy Pokeballs. It's good to have an antidote. Lame. I'm planning to trade my Gen 1 Pokemon from Yellow into this game. Not now, but eventually. So this half split thing makes no sense. Since it's on both sides, why not just have 4 of these little round things? Okay, I already stole one from your tree, but thanks. missed? Really? Okay. For such a basic starter move, they should have given Tackle 100% accuracy. Nice. Oh, good. I was worried about that. Yeah, I leveled up, right? Yeah, 8. Okay. That's good for you. I'll go with the cannon name this time. She'll occasionally use your money to buy stuff, which a lot of it is useless, but sometimes she'll get you something good like a moonstone. Okay, I'm wanting to... Okay, I have to leave and then come back. Okay. Yeah, I might as well switch now. Okay. What? Okay, so it should be like 528. Yeah. Oh, shut up. No. Get lost, loser. For a fire type starter, I sure haven't learned any fire type moves yet. Gen 2 starters are all monotype. They don't gain secondary typing when they evolve or anything like that. Makes them kind of boring. I was debating whether or not I wanted to catch a Geodude. There we go, looking for a Spearow. It evolves Nephiro sooner than Pidgey gets to his final form of Pidgeot. Nice. First Pokemon caught. Fine. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do hardly any damage. Like, I know that if it's not very effective, it halves the damage, but even that damage were doubled, that still wouldn't be very much. I'm gonna try getting a Sentret. It's really the only new Pokemon I've encountered so far in the wild. When I say new, I mean Gen 2. There we go. Seems it appears when I complain about only seeing Gen 1 Pokemon. I can always use HM slaves. And finally, he sells Pokeballs. Yeah. Alright. That's almost all my money gone, but worth it. Alright, I can go left now. So far it's been a lot of backtracking. Alright, well, not first battle, but first one other than the rival. Why does Tail Whip even exist as a move when you just have Leer? Like, I'm not sure what the difference between if there is any difference between the two. It's just taking up space in the cartridge memory that could be spent, you know, having rounded sprites for these edges. I can hold off. I like how much more animated these Pokemon sprites are compared to Gen 1. my fire-type Pokemon using having all normal type moves. Kind of reminds me of Gen 6, how the fairy Pokemon will learn pretty much mostly grass moves, because that's logical. Spiders be mostly Geodudes. Let me get a few more encounters though, just see what else I can find. I know I'm gonna have to come back here later once I have the HM to light this place up. No, no, Zubat. I'll take it. Nice. Yeah, even though this is also the same, Game Boy generation, these Gen 2 games are such a huge visual improvement over Gen 1 in every way. Yeah, part of this is that these are Game Boy Color games as opposed to regular Game Boy, but well, let me check something here. I can't remember if Gen 1 were classified as Game Boy Color. I know you can have better visuals if you use the Game Boy Color. A bunch? I don't want to deal with a bunch. Please don't have a bunch. 4, really? Oops. Finally something different. Makes me wonder why they didn't just, like, instead of all these Caterpies and Weedle, I guess, in this early section, why not use Spinarak occasionally? Show off a Gen 2 Pokemon. Don't get poisoned, please. Alright. Yeah. really trying to avoid using a potion, but I'll probably have to. Okay. But I'm not gonna bother catching bell sprouts or anything like that because I'll eventually be trading my Pokemon from yellow version here. That looks like a place where a hidden item would be. Finally! Finally learned something other than a normal type move. Oh, wow. That was insane how long I had to go without something other than a normal move. Trash. I can sell it at least. Nice. I know I'm pretty much only leveling up one Pokemon instead of rotating, but the early game of this really makes it hard to train evenly. Because you can't don't even have access to Pokeballs until you go all the way to Cherry Grove, go all the way to Mr. Pokemon, go back to Cherry Grove, fight your rival, then go back to New Barktown. That's literally the first time you have access to a Pokeball. And then it's just a matter of, leveling up your starter to learn something other than a normal type move so you can deal with, rock Pokemon or ghost Pokemon or whatever. Oh, there's actually a wild Pokemon here. I was gonna try to catch it. Oh, finally a decently leveled Bellsprout. That sounds like such a stereotypical Japanese monk name. Troy. Troy-san. I guess, if the professors or people named like Professor Oak, Professor Elm, all that, we can make allowances for out-of-place names. I guess they didn't want to. I guess they thought that they had if they put Japanese names in this game, that it'll be difficult for American audiences to get into. I don't think that's the case. I think this is another example of, 90s, early 2000s Japanese media companies self-censoring because they think that, their culture, their names and stuff will be unpalatable to American audiences, even though we know now that's not the case. Yeah. Nice. I kind of do want to catch this. Oh. Too strong to be catching, I guess. An evolution at level 14 is pretty early. Nice. Final test? Nothing's been testing me so far. Everything's been a pushover. Well, probably because I chose a fire starter. If I had chosen Totodile or Chikorita, I would have had a much harder time with this place. Finally, something different. I guess that one sage, a little ways back, used to Hoothoot as well. Oh, it identified. Okay. Identify this. It's crazy that Hoothoot and his evolution in Noctowl were just pure normal flying type instead of, like flying psychic. Same thing with Standler. It should have been psychic too, but at least Slayer Evolution Weirdeer was. Nice. Alright, let me see what other wild Pokemon are here. I don't really think I need a Rattata. This is different. Well, if I try to damage it, I'm just going to kill it, so just go straight for a Pokeball. fact that I knows hypnosis to put opponents to sleep, that makes me really want to catch it now. Because it'll help me catch other Pokemon. Nice. That's awesome. Got myself a Ghastly. Leveling it up is going to be really difficult when it only knows Lick right now. Oh, I guess it's really not that good actually, because this is Gen 2 before the physical special split, and ghost moves were physical back then. Well, that's not good. Alright, let me at least get to level 15. So I guess, well, really, I think the strongest moves for the, Gengar weren't ghost moves, but psychic moves. Because of its stat breakdown. Alright. And as much as I hate to keep relying on my starter, I have a gym to take care of. Okay. Better gym designs than Gen 1. Such an unemployable haircut. That's why you can hang out in a gym, you're unemployed. Don't know what the significance of the S is. I mean, this is a, from a Japanese company, so that's probably not meant to be an S. So there's probably no significance. Probably just a shape that ensures that you can't avoid either encounter. Alright, time to fight the emo. Yeah, show me how good flying type is by using nothing but normal type moves against me. That'll sure show me. Now, of course, Pidgey is meant to evolve into Pidgeotto at level 18, not level 9, but whatever. Gym leaders and Elite Four champions or whatever can just break the rules. Although actually, I think I remember in Gen 1 it's possible to catch a Pidgeotto at a lower level than you're meant to find it. So I guess they can evolve prematurely in the wild and you can catch them that way. Nice. And this is one of the biggest quality of life improvements from Gen 1 to Gen 2. It actually tells you what moves the TMs are. I mean, the developers of Gen 1 are like, oh, here's TM31. Don't know what that does? Too bad for you. What can I teach Flash? Yep, of course. In Gold and Silver, one of the best Pokemon you can catch early game is Mareep, but unfortunately Mareep is completely absent from Crystal unless you trade. So no Mareep for me until I do some trading, I guess. Because, well, fortunately, I'll be able to trade because I have silver right here. And if that's not enough, the Japanese version of gold as well. Alright. Oh, okay. He did say his assistant is in this Pokemon Center. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, okay. Now, who should I deposit? I guess it'll... Ghastly just isn't as good in this generation, so... Nice. And it hatches based on the number of steps you've taken. So as you play within your party, it'll just eventually hatch. Or you can like intentionally just walk around a lot to hatch it. But I know the number of steps required for an egg to hatch depends on the species, and I think this egg, it takes more than a lot of other ones, so it's a lot of walking around. Oh yeah, this is definitely more a traditional style Japanese home here. With the little area to put your shoes here, the tatami mats, the table that you kneel at. catch a hoot, but okay, so no ember for that. Finally, a Gen 2 Pokemon. Critical hit, of course, okay. Can't use Ember this time. And this one's level 4, so even Tackle may finish it off. Yeah, okay. I need to be at least level 5 to catch it. This will probably also one-hit KO, but whatever. Alright, give me a level 5 Hoot, and I can use Tackle on it, and hopefully it's not a critical hit. I'll just take my chances with this. I'm trying to catch all the Pokemon, so I do need to get this. It'd be nice if stat-reducing moves like Leer, Smokescreen, all that made it easier to catch Pokemon. They didn't have to do damage necessarily. Oh, nice. I'll give Tackling a try on level 5. Please survive. Okay. So I can't catch it. I'm gonna have to catch it with regular Pokeball. Maybe. Please survive. Yes! This is a tough Bellsprout. I should probably actually put it in my party. I'm gonna guess I can probably learn Flash. Oh, Ghastly's here too, okay. Alright, let me just catch a Hoothoot. Nice. So in Gen 1, if you catch a Pokemon that goes to your PC, it doesn't get healed, so any damage you did while trying to catch it remains. I don't remember if it's the same way in Gen 2 or not. Possibly useful as an HM holder, but right now I can just deposit. Maybe Geodude can be useful. Now, let's see. Please let Bellsprout. Yes. I figured a plant Pokemon like Bellsprout would be able to. Don't ask me why, it's Pokemon logic. It's level 5, so I'll put him from a party. Fortunately, Gen 2 is before abilities were introduced, so the Geodude don't have the ability Sturdy since there are no abilities yet. So much better. Nice. Oh, wow. I don't have surf, so I can't really go any further. Okay, I wasn't able to explore as much as... I don't have rock smash either. So yeah, I guess this is as far as I can explore. Only get 10 uses of Vine Whip? Really? For such a basic move? Normally your basic starting moves for a Pokemon have more PP than that. Growth is a decent move. I want to see what else I can catch here. Bellsprout actually seems pretty good. I think it doesn't evolve to Weeping Bells like level 21 or something. Maybe I'm misremembering. But if that's the case, it's a long road till it before it becomes better, but right now it's doing pretty good damage. In general, though, grass types aren't as useful as water types. Do I have any ethers? Probably not. Oh. I don't want to take a chance of killing this thing. Wow, this is rare. I think it only has like a 1% chance of spawning. Wouldn't get an evolution until Gen 9. Oh, nice. Not a useful Pokemon, but it's a rare one. Extremely rare. Alright, give me just one more Geodude so I can get to level 9 and then leave. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, Geodude. One more Geodude, please. Alright. Level 4, nice. Alright, I'm out of Vine Whip. Alright. Trying to decide. It would be nice to have Dunsparce on my team, but don't know how good it's actually going to be. I don't know. Whatever. Ruins of Elf. Nice. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, there's an event that lets you get Arceus here. I think it was an event that was just never really made available. So it was a theoretical possibility of getting Arceus. Alright, a little puzzle. Get the corners first. Edges. Not clear where the bottom pieces are, but I'm assuming it's these. These might have to be swapped around. Let's see. It looks mostly right, but I'm thinking that these did need to be swapped around. Nice. So each of these unknown represent different letters. You can actually see the letters in the room we're just in on that back panel. So this is the K. All right, please don't die. Nice. There's no telling what type this hidden power move is, but I'm guessing that was fire type. Ooh, I'm almost out of Pokeballs already. That's the eye. I have no idea. I don't remember exactly what goes into the calculations to determine what type move hidden power is going to be for a particular Pokemon. But it varies based on the Pokemon using it. And it doesn't really matter much in recent generations because I think they've removed that move. So Pokemon can no longer learn hidden power. Oh well. If I caught 2 or more kinds, are supposed to give me something. Maybe if they catch more and then they give me like an unknown dex, it's called. Okay, so I think you appear in the same room regardless of where you drop down in. Okay, and these on the wall I think determine what appears. Oops, missed it. Okay. E, S, I guess that's a C. A, P, E again. Okay, that's, oh, escape, okay. So it's telling you escape. Okay. I think it's part of some puzzle, like use an escape rope or something, but it'll help if I can get to the other rooms and explore those. Oh, this is new. Not sure what letter that's supposed to be. I mean, it could be a G or... I don't know. Critical hit, really? But the more of those puzzles you solve, the more varieties become available to catch. Alright, 1 Pokeball. Please be caught. Oh, okay. I guess I need to catch 3 unknown. Okay. Something seep? Not sure. Oh, keep. Okay, keep. Increase. So they have names. Okay. Still have no idea what this is. Ite, maybe? So let's see. Second letter looks like an I. Third one looks maybe like a T. And then E is definitely last, so. Well, I'll probably figure it out eventually by seeing more words and stuff. Alright, I need to heal and get more Pokeballs. That's the important part. Oh, I can go this way. Alright. Alright, what else can I do in Ruins of Alph? Without being able to surf. I think this is all I can explore for now. Battle Edge. Oh. Useful. And here I thought he was going to battle me. Okay. My first step, really? Okay. No way. Oh, good. It's a female Dunsparce. Nice. I'm even luckier to get that. So I can breed moves. Yeah, I am. I don't think I'm tough. Well, this is a risk. Oh no, I think Leech Life is a grass move, isn't it? Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's Bug. Alright, at least Geodude got some experience. Oh, hidden item. Nice. Nice. Da-da-da. Don't call me unless you want to battle. Nice. So I can catch fish now. Probably be mostly level 5 Magikarp, but whatever. entrance is coming up. So I think now is a good time to stop. I can train up some of my weaker Pokemon off stream and then pick up here next time. But that'll do it for now. Hope to see you next time.